Hi everybody, this is Matt. Thanks for watching and welcome back. And yes, we are back here in the basement because of you. Many of you on my Sunday night live streams have said, hey Matt, would you please start doing some videos from your basement again? Don't really care what you talk about. We just miss you from your basement. Is it even still there? Yeah, it's still here, and thanks for asking. And I'm glad to be able to make the request. So this one is going to be just kind of a general life update because I understand that many of you haven't seen me for quite some time, and that's mainly because of life issues, being busy, stuff like that. So let's just do an update. So number one question that I get asked is, how are you? How's your health? Well, as far as I know, my health is doing quite well. And I warned several of you that when you did see me down here in the basement, that you're gonna go, you've lost weight. And that's true. Over the past year, I believe I've lost somewhere in the neighborhood of 22 pounds. So a little bit thinner on the side profile and all that. And simple reason is my activity level has picked up a little bit, but the bigger reason is that I changed my eating habits. And thanks to a friend of mine who made a suggestion on how I could switch up my breakfast, that's made like the biggest thing. And so the weight's come off really steady, and I think that that's helped in a lot of ways. Many of you also know that back in 2021, was it 2020? Somewhere in there, yeah, it was back in the day of that weird summer that we all remember. There was a road rage incident, and I got rear-ended and suffered some injuries to my low back. And I went to get them treated, and they actually got worse. They didn't get better. And so found myself actually walking, unable to walk the way that I normally would. And if you notice now, I'm standing straight up like this. But there was a time when it hurt so bad, I'm walking like this, all hunched over, and it was painful to walk. So that apparently has been resolved, and thanks and God bless to the doctors for doing that. And I appreciate that, but man, was that a long trip. So what I do in part of my routine is I get to work way early before it opens, and I do a few laps around the building, and then thankfully we have a treadmill at work, and I'll get on that at times as well. So as far as routines, another routine that I've had people ask me about, because somebody once asked a question, they're like, hey, what takes you the longest per day as far as a routine to do? And my answer is really simple: teeth. These things. Now, I wish I would have known about teeth and their importance to your overall health when I was a kid. Well, you know, sometimes we're all slow learners or we're not taught the right way. So after having a couple of what they call deep cleanings of my teeth, which, you know, they call it, what is it? Deep cleaning and rip planing. Bottom line, they go all the way down the roots of your teeth, and it's not really a fun time. I changed up how I did things. So I spent a lot of time, twice a day, flossing, using the go-betweens in my teeth, using a water pick, and do that twice a day, and that has worked out fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. And I learned some things in the process. I actually learned that bacteria in your teeth, in the plaque and stuff like that, is generally bad, and it's bad for heart health. So that's one of my big things. What else has been going on in my life? People ask me, go to the range? Answer, yes. but not as frequently. And the reason for that is basic economics, along with the type of ranges I like to go to. I've said in the past, I really love going to an outdoor range because you're outside, you're in the elements, there's wind that's, taking the smoke away and stuff like that. I prefer that over an indoor range. Even though I am a lifetime member of 2 indoor ranges, I don't spend much time in them because I love to shoot outdoors. And I also don't like it when it gets hyper smoky in there, and I don't like lead, I don't like coughing. Somebody in a recent broadcast was asking me about what TMJ, a total metal jacket on a cartridge, stood for. And my explanation is, typically most of the cartridges that you're going to use, they're not solidly wrapped in copper, and they have lead back here. Primer goes off, powder ignites. Lead's got a melting point of somewhere around 636 degrees or thereabouts, and the lead can get atomized and put into the air. Along with primers, sometimes have lead antimony in them, and if you're in an indoor range and it's not well ventilated, that's bad. If it gets, kind of foggy looking and you can't see a target clearly at 7 yards, get out of there. And so if I go to an indoor range, I'll wear a mask with a HEPA filter because I've got sick from being inside of a range once and I never want to repeat that experience. So there's your quick answer, but the other part is it's the economy. We know that prices have gone up when it comes to the cost of ammo as well as firearms. And then that's another question. People say, hey, what gun have you bought lately? None. Absolutely nothing, because I've never been a gun of the month club type of person. I never chase after, the newest, latest, and greatest. What I have works, I'm accurate with it, and I don't need any more. Anybody that knows me will tell you that I don't buy stuff that I don't need. So if I don't need something, I'm a hard one to buy for. And I'm thankful for friends and I'm thankful for family that actually think about me when it comes to certain things. So I'll leave it at that. But anyway, that's what's been going on in my life. You just heard the furnace kick off. It kicked on earlier because it's really, really cold today. And our weather has been going in extremes. We had a couple of days this week where we actually hit low 50s, and now we're back down into the deep freezer. So it's been a weird winter. On a closing note, we've had some natural disasters, here in the U.S. We had Hurricane Helene over on the East Coast and the Gulf Coast and all of that. And now we have the wildfires in L.A. I've been to North Carolina, and I know what it looks like. I know how you've got the haulers in there and how everything is all tight and everything. I've also been to Los Angeles several times in my life. Been to both places, but the recovery efforts for Hurricane Helene, especially in North Carolina, have kind of disappeared off the news. Let's not forget about those people. Please, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. If you have the ability to donate to a charity that you know is working for them, please help them. And please help, folks in LA as well. But I really feel sorry for the people in North Carolina, because it's basically been a lot of local folks that have gotten together that have reestablished the ability for some of these poor people to live. I saw where a group of Amish came and put together some mini homes in a record time for folks out there. And infrastructure, especially in really hilly and mountainous regions, is hard. It's hard to repair that. And then you'll have these people out there that'll say, well, why did they end up building beside a river? Hello, if you remember your history, eastern part of the United States was the first place that folks from Europe started to settle. And where do you want to settle? You want to settle where you have food, water, and shelter. Water is really important, and being by a river meant that you could catch fish, that you could have water, and then the woods and everything else gave you everything that you needed to build shelters. And when people moved out west, like into the Great Plains of Kansas and stuff like that, guess what? They started up with sod houses. That's right, sod, S-O-D, where they basically took big clumps of the tall prairie grass and built houses with it. So, and there's even some sod houses that are still around. But anyway, it's been a tough year for a lot of folks. And so anyway, I'm just closing with that. Hopefully the next video we'll talk about something else, but it's good to be back. And everybody, be safe out there. And thanks for watching.